Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakak Wadash, Mama. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Salutations to the sincere Aki and pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the Karab Banya Sharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp, and today I'll be coming out with a little lesson. Title that lesson is avoid useless talk. Because as you know, we must avoid useless talk. We must avoid unprofitable talk, especially when it comes down to the scriptures. Because useless and unprofitable talk does nothing for our people. Does nothing for ourselves, because it's useless, it's unprofitable. It does not achieve the desired result of what this unprofitable talk is put out to do, because it's unprofitable and it's useless. But without further ado, I'm gonna get right into the scriptures. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh. We must study to show ourselves approved in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed. And we are studying to show ourselves approved. When we bring forth the word, we are that workman, and we don't have to be ashamed because we have been studying. And we know what's going on in the scriptures. Rightly dividing the word of truth. Rightly dividing the word of truth. Telling our people the truth the right way. Giving it to them straight, avoiding this unprofitable and useless talk, and giving them the things that they need so that they can be healed. Verse 16, it says, but shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. But we must shun profane and vain babblings. Why? We must put that stuff to the side. We must avoid useless talk when it comes down to the scriptures. Because why? Useless talk will increase unto more ungodliness. You will never get the point across, get your point across using useless or unprofitable talk. That does not achieve the desired results of getting the point across, because it's useless talk. It doesn't line up with the scriptures. You know, you try to tie something useless into the scriptures, and it caused the scriptures to be none effect. Because why? You just took something useless and put it in. So we must avoid useless talk, because that will increase unto more ungodliness. I'm gonna jump down to verse 23. It says, but foolish and unlearned questions avoid. So we must avoid foolish and unlearned questions. We must avoid useless, unprofitable talk, knowing that they do gender strifes, knowing that unprofitable, useless talk can start a debate, can start an argument, can cause the point to go to cause the subject and or the topic to shift way left field, and the original point or the original subject that was being talked about is no longer being talked about, and now you're over here wailing around on all this unprofitable talking, all this useless banter, and it's not profiting anyone. It's just idle talk. It's like it's talk without sense. So we must avoid useless talk. This is Titus chapter 3, verse 8 and 9. You know what? I'm gonna just read verse 9. I'm gonna read verse 8, Salaki. I'm going to start at verse 8, then go to verse 9. It says, this is a faithful saying, and these things I will that thou affirm constantly. These things of the scriptures, the word, the truth, the righteousness, the light of the scriptures of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Again, this is a faithful saying, and these things I will that thou affirm constantly, that they which have believed in Yahweh might be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable unto men. See, these things are good and profitable unto men. Teaching our people the scriptures the right way. Letting them know the truth the right way. And also edifying the brothers that do believe, so they can maintain and stay grounded in Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Why? Because these things are good and profitable unto men. But, verse 9, but avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. See, we must avoid, again, foolish questions. We must avoid useless talk and genealogies. We must not get caught up and bloodlines and genealogies and stuff that could get you thrown off or get you going left field on the scriptures. And what I mean by left field, get you pulled off in that useless, unprofitable talk. Cause and these contentions, cause that's all it'll do. It'll increase unto more ungodliness. It'll cause strifes, contentions, and so forth and so forth. So we must avoid useless talk because they are unprofitable and vain. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. It says, prove all things, hold fast that which is good. So we must prove all things. We prove all things through the scriptures. We got to hold fast that which is good. The truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. His wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding. We got to hold that fast which is good. And his knowledge, his wisdom, and his understanding is good. That is the thing we must hold fast because that is good and profitable unto us. But useless talk, we got to avoid it. Profane and vain babblings, we got to shun it. We got to avoid that kind of stuff because it doesn't do anything for us. Real quick, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6. Salaki, bear with me real quick. This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6. It says, let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh upon the children of disobedience. So again, let no man deceive you with vain words, useless talk. Let no man deceive you. Let no man fool you or pull the wool over your eyes. For because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh upon the children of disobedience. So don't let nobody lie to you. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody come up to you using useless talk or unprofitable talk, because the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua can come upon you if you allow yourself to be deceived. Verse I'm gonna jump up to verse 5. Verse 4, Salakia. This is, I'm gonna start at verse 3, Salakia, just to complete the thought. It says, but fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as you become saints. Don't allow sin to reign in you. Don't allow these things to come up. Verse 4, the point. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving thanks. See, this is what we, again, don't let filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, joking, of useless talk. These are the things we must avoid. Again, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving thanks. Again, we must avoid useless talk, unprofitable words, because they do nothing for us. Ephesians chapter 4. Verse 29. It says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of the edifying, that it may minister the grace unto the hearer. See, let no corrupt communication, let no lies, no guile come out of your mouth according to the scriptures when it comes down to bringing forth the truth. That's what it means by let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying. You tell our people the truth. That is which is good. To the use of edifying, to building up our people in the truth, to letting them know according to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, how he says to live, walk, and talk. That it may minister grace unto the hearers. That it may minister grace unto the hearers. Telling our people the truth, telling our people the right way, that's profitable talk. But this left field speaking, and all this other stuff, that's unprofitable talk. It does nothing for us. Last point. Back at Timothy. 1 Timothy. Chapter 1, verse 4. It says, again, it says, neither give heed to fables, and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying. So we're not supposed to give heed unto fables. Fables are stories, lies. We don't supposed to give heed unto useless talk. We must avoid useless, unprofitable talk. Again, neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions. See, when you're using unprofitable talk or useless talk, it just opens you up for more questions and more questions and more questions and more questions, and you never get around to an answer. You never get to the bottom of it because it's useless and it's unprofitable. So again, neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith. See, again, we must avoid useless talk. We don't give heed to fables, neither endless genealogies, or things that will always cause you to have a question about this and a question about that and a question about this, and you never get to the bottom of it. You know, we must speak profitably. We must use profitable talk because that is godly edifying. But again, I'm going to read this verse one more time. I'm going to close it up. Neither give heed unto fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith. We must avoid useless talk. We must avoid unprofitable talk. And with that, shalom.